It's Friday, and it is time for some FACEIT League. We're going to get an EMEA Master matchup here for you today. We got Ereus taking on Incendia. It's Friday, you know? It's Friday. Oh, I should let the hair down. We'll just make this a Friday routine. Let's pull up your standings here. Let's take a look. Let's talk about this match we got going on today. Ereus taking on Incendia. Ereus, honestly, both teams have had their fair share of struggles here recently. So both these teams kind of in a similar story on a bounce back from redemption. Ereus came out with 3 extremely tough opponents out of the gate, fall to 0-3 early, which of course is just going to have an impact on your momentum, your confidence, and now, but have definitely shown some bounce back here in the past couple of games. We are looking at a little bit of a different roster, from previous seasons. Still a lot of recognizable names here, though. I think there's more T3 experience here than T2. I think this is a little bit more of a stepping up, where I think Incendia is a classic, EMEA Tier 2 squad of talent. I mean, Captain Crash coming onto the squad's no different. Where I feel like for Ereus, this is a little bit of, more of the next ups kind of rising up. And I think that we're starting to see this. I think we're starting to see the next generation of Overwatch talents really start to bud. I've started to know this across both regions here. And there's been, with the way the ecosystem's panned out, there's no more crossover with OWCS teams playing in FACEIT League, so that's left a little bit of power vacuum at the master level, in combination with, some players splitting off to other titles. I think it's left a little bit of the door open for hot talent coming up, for fresh talent coming up through the system. And, I mean, accentuated by the fact that the whole ecosystem is now a lot more designed for that, and I think is going to reward synergy, is going to reward hard work in the moment and not resting on laurels. I mean, it's if you let off the gas for a moment, you can find yourself, tumbling back down. But the flip side of that coin is you get hot young talent coming up, and they can really turn it on at any point. This is kind of an interesting tale on both sides, where I think Ereus is more of that next ups kind of names, where it's names I recognize, over the past 9 months of casting FACEIT League for sure. But it's more from casting FACEIT League. When I look at Incendia, these are names that I recognize from, the previous ecosystem, from Contenders days, from Owl days, from Overwatch World Cup. Old hats that, vets that have proven strength versus hot up-and-comers. There's a giant carrot at the end of the stick for both of these squads. Right now, immediate goal for both of these teams is to make playoffs, make postseason. Don't get relegated. Bottom 4 will get relegated out of Master Division kind of automatically. There's not relegation matches, as far as we know, as far as has been announced, between Expert and Master right now. There's no safety net at all. The story with Incendia. High expectations right out of the gate, right? We've heard from Coach Cass that there was definitely a bit of disappointment. And I bring that because this is not speculation. This is from the team themselves. We've heard from the coach that there was definitely a bit of disappointment that, from not making OWCS and kind of falling a bit short in those quals. They know they've got the chops to get there. Then come in and we'll pull out some early dubs. I mean, opposite story from what we saw in Ereus. Go 0-3. I mean, who went 0-3? This team goes 3-0. And then drop a series Dreamlight, which I would have given Incendia the edge on that one. And it kind of felt like they kind of ran into a rough spot here in this meta. Now, you're also going up against DM and SR Peak Check, who are 3 teams that are tied for first, which also, if you remember the Ereus strength of schedule, I mean, it was 0907 TA and DM Pero. I'm split. I really like both teams. That's awesome. That's what I like to hear. There's good things to love about both of these squads. No doubt. We're getting set up. We're getting ready to get into map 1 here. It is a random map for the first pick, so it's neither's choice. Will be loser pick from here on in. So, Samoa up first, as we're getting some bans in. Bans do mimic OWCS. You cannot repeat bans throughout the series. Only 1 hero per role can be banned per map. They are also able to choose game type, so loser pick is not just which map, but also which game type. as well, which you know, you get that same intrigue and variety that we see in OWCS in that regard, which might be a little different if you're more familiar with my expert division streams. That's a fixed game type as far as what order the game types are in. More like, you know, our traditional competitive Overwatch style. So Ereus are gonna ban the Mauga here, and then Incendia ban the Venture. Sleek, all caps, like, oh my goodness, that's my best friend, Volskak. I've had minimal interaction with Sleek, but it's amazing. I love it. It warms the heart. It warms the heart. It always makes me smile. Okay, you let this old man hang out and enjoy some Overwatch, do what I love. Oh, it's amazing. Thank y'all so much for being here and hanging out with me and enjoying it with me. We got it ready to go. It's time for Samoa. It's time to get into this thing. It's time for map 1. Oh, shoot. Anyway, I forgot something.
Ready for battle.
Oh, the Lars Zarya. Oh, versus the hybrid JQ. Hey, why did I... Okay, sorry, my bands did this once before. That's just something in OBS, it breaks. So I apologize, the bands look a little funny. You can still tell what they are, at least. I can fix it, but it'll take a second. And I don't want to do it here in the middle of this first team fight. We gotta lock in. We gotta lock in. Incendia able to bounce back after that 3-game slide and win their last match. And then looking to see if they can continue the uptick. Same goes for Ereus, though, after that 0-3 start. As they're in, trying to see if they can continue the good times and make sure they avoid that relegation spot I was talking about. Oh, this Zarya skin looks so good. I mean, the skin itself is good, but that weapon is amazing looking. Oh, I haven't seen it in action yet. That's really cool. Anyway, that's going to be Jespersack getting the bubble up front. Keeping them on that front line so they can... He really cycles well with the Genji cooldowns. As far as having that Zarya bubble. Here comes the aggressive push from Hybrid into the backline. And Lars caught without those precious bubbles. So opening pick going over to Incendia. Cronus is going to find Justice Flag in the backline. And that's part of the high risk, high reward of this Zarya composition. I've been playing a ton of Zarya lately. A lot of fun, especially in the perk meta. But it's too high risk. Once you get caught without those bubbles, you are the lowest health pool tank in the game. So with that, obviously, we have already seen the swap to the JQs. We come back into the Kitsune rush fight here right in the middle. One where Volta has a slight sub-barrier advantage. Crash is able to catch up, but all 5 hits, Leak is going to pop the overclock. Captain Crash able to return with the shielding for the entire team as well. Downright concert here in downtown Samoa. 43% counting for Incendia on the board. Let's see, a little flanky flank going on the left-hand side. Lars drawing some aggro on the right. Can they hit Hybrid with the left side flank? No, unfortunately not. And both of our JQs kind of back up into their respective positions with just effects. Pulling out the katana. Oh, and a couple mean swipes. Hybrid and Cloud both caught. Clean blade. They're in a much-needed fight win, the first one for Ereus. So flip the point. 63% on the board for Incendia before they do, though. Cloud did hold on to that Dragon Blade. So you got something to open up with this next fight with. There's the dash through. Keeping an eye on Cloud for this setup. Not able to find it. I mean, it takes so much damage. The whole team has to back up. Now we've kind of built up to where you might just consider go for a Kitsune rush fight. Maybe that was the plan the whole time. Maybe Cloud's Blade's just the red herring through all of this. Nope, Cloud found position that time. Went up. Oh, well. Gets a 1-for-1 trade. Volta comes out on top. Hybrid does give player advantage over. I think the ultimate advantage is in favor of Ereus at the moment. Can they leverage it in this 3v4? You're going to hit Hybrid, but the cleanse is there from Cronus, as well as the Kitsune Rush in response to that Rampage. Volta's sound barrier fading. Souza used here out of Ereus, and Lars is just going to get ran over. The Kitsune Rush persisting through those other ultimates, and Captain Prash investing that sound barrier as well. Double support ults invested to get the flip. You know what Ereus do get? 3/4 of the point, though, throughout that hole. Drawn out fight favoring Ereus here. Ults expended on both sides, but once again, Incendia hold one in their back pocket, and this time it's Cookie. Last time on stream, Cookie had like 55,000 damage in 3 maps. Oh, and a gorgeous headshot onto Sleek here with this OC. It's 82% on the board, and a bit of a spawn can't coming in. Late kill on the Jesper Swag, and Incendia looking hot here in this opening sub-map. Sleek able to return the favor, but it's a 1-for-1 trade onto the Soges. 98%. We do get a touch onto the point. Imagine that's Volta. Actually, I'm not sure who got the touch, but they get the flip. Is it enough of a stall to get reinforcements back on this fight? There's Volta. Sleek returns on a far. Immediately cut down. Great shot out of Cookie. And that denies the touch coming in from Lars and Texal. It would have been a tough ask. You'd have to stall long enough to Jesper's side to get that Dragon Blade up, I think, to really overcome the player deficit. But nevertheless, a clean closeout there from Incendia. Take that opening round. Pigeon Cam overrated. Coconut Cam activated. Lars looks to be sticking with the JQ after briefly flirting with the idea of the Zarya, which was fun to see for a moment.
Capture the objective. I'm here. Neither are you.
Yep, same Lucio, Kiri, Genji, Soj comps. Mirrored on both sides. Look at this push over there from Jesper Swag. They're able to claim a lot of space here. There's, 2v2 on the south side between the Genjis and Lucios. Ooh, pressure comes in. Oh, and Hybrid. It's Hybrid who claims the space across bridge and is able to create the mismatch there on the outside. You do lose Captain Prash through that exchange, though. Not ideal, but still first cap goes over to Incendia. Shout re-engage comes in. Chicken and Lars down here underneath in this battle with Hybrid. Volta jump down, says, "Get down, Mr. President." Here comes the swift step in. The bodyguard has been dispatched, though. Incendia are back at full strength and now on a 5v4 of their own. Cloudfire and Sleek. Great mismatch created on the outside as Sleek and Texal get isolated. Once again for the second round in a row. Good opening fight there out of Incendia. Just for that, it's going to throw a little wrinkle into this meta. Or at least this mirror match we're seeing here today, bringing the May out. Ereus having... This is going to slow things way down. And now playing much more of a 4-1 split. No more of that 2-3 split to try to control the flank. Incendia rush directly on top of Lars. Unfortunately, I think Texal was just a little too late into that fight with Cloud coming up to clean it up. Clean team kill there. 2/3 of the point capped. Jesper coming in on the left-hand side flank. Trying to see if they can deal with Cloud. You have a Cookie OC. Well, the clock fades, though. Uses that 150 charge. Slake doesn't miss. Finds Cronus on the other side, also using the overcharge perk. I feel like I haven't seen as much as I was seeing in the first few days of the perk era. So Sleek shows up in the Battle of the Overclocks. Here in an important fight win for Ereus as they finally get something started, but they're gonna have to be flawless here for the rest of this sub map. And they're staring on the barrel of two different, very powerful engagement tools out of Incendia with the Sound Barrier, Dragon Blade combo, and of course, hybrid with this Rampage. Lars is just gets Suzu'd and cut down. Cloud needs no Sound Barrier, actually. Completely wins out the Dragon Blade versus Rampage trade. And I think you take that trade 10 times out of 10 here if you're Incendia. Sound Barrier throwing it for bolts. It seems like a desperate attempt to try to hold on to this point down in this mismatch. Just Respect does have a Blizzard out, trying to catch Hybrid with it. Hybrid just rampages right back through the Blizzard. And a good boot. Keeps Just Respect isolated, not able to get any heals. Full anchored and point control. And this is going to be the coconuts. Where are my coconuts? Give Incendia their coconuts. They earned them. The 1-0 lead here for Incendia. Kick off this match.
This ends now. On a roll. Rails empowered and ready to fire.
Yep, and still one of my favorites. Rest in peace, pretty girl. Poplin. Ah, Billy. Still one of my favorite emotes. Still one of my favorite emotes. She was the best. Speaking of, look at some stats. Show me some stats. Ereus, I will say, did a good job of making that close, even though they, apparently we're losing the majority of the team fights, but particularly on downtown. They do a good job of drawing up the fights and getting as much as they can out of each fight win. Because percentage-wise, it didn't feel nearly as big a gap as what we're seeing in the stat card. I mean, and if you can draw out a losing fight long enough to get 75% on the board in one team fight, if you only need to win two team fights to take the map, then, that's what matters, right? Or take a sub map. Unfortunately for Ereus, they're not quite able to close out that final fight. So it's a Nightfall pick here on Hybrid from them, heading into map 2. Let's see. We have Zarya and Pharah banned out. So Incendia banning out the Zarya. Maybe? What do they say? Yep. And Incendia ban out the Zarya. And Ereus ban out the Pharah here as we get ready to head into Eichenwalde. And yes, loser does get first ban and map pick. So Ereus did get both of those things cast. Just reminding us there in chat. I appreciate it. It's very kind. It's very kind. I mean, they're in the middle of a competition. The coach is taking time to clarify things for me and for y'all out there in chat. So, big shout out, Cass. Thank you so much for that. Let's get into map 2.
Ready for battle.
No, wait. I didn't get them plugged in. Let's get those bands plugged in. What am I thinking? I told y'all, but I didn't put them into my handy dandy little screen up here. That's easy. That's easy. Boom. Boom. Bands in. Defense set up here in this Jungle Queen composition. We are set. Ready. Map number 2.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Watch out for Jesper Swag.
Attackers incoming.
Hey!
Defend objective A.
Oh. Brash didn't stick up there long enough. We've seen that one hit. We've seen that shot hit. And you can see Jesper Swag now. The idea is to go directly for the tower. It's not even looking for the bridge anymore. It's looking for the Lucio at the tower these days. After that infamous flick we saw. Oh, what was that? In 2024 WCS? tremendous rotation right out of the gate here from Ereus on the right-hand side as they've managed to secure this spot on tower, but Just Swag gets caught a little too far forward there, out of cover and out of sight lines of the healers. I think Texall had looped around trying to push in on a little bit of a flank, but now it's just Ereus trying to get out without suffering any more casualties. Valor in chat, appreciate you being here, says, let's go Brashy. Just back onto this May. Trying to chase Cookie there off the outside. Incendia is thrown over the front. Cookie has this overclock. Oh, Sleek has already picked up one, but Jesper Swag dies. Volta, ooh, gets cut down by a nice pair of shots. That's a 3-kill there in the OC. Taking Volta down before they're able to get that sound barrier online, which could have been a difference maker had this fight gone on any longer, but Cookie shut it down nice and swift. Venture and Maga were bans in map 1. I actually might have time between attack and defense here to fix your things. Lars, oh, try to get the rampage. I think I got booped. I don't think Lars was trying to stick the rampage into the corner. What a boop there out of Captain Prash, and then Cloud with his gorgeous 4K on top of it. And a huge engagement tool taken out of the tool chest, out of the war chest, I mean, there from Ereus. Now Hybrid, lurking with a rampage of their own. Gets the boop, and so the read is there, the call has been made. Still Hybrid is gonna dive in. Lands the jagged knife, shot on a Jesper Swag. 2v1 and a fight 1 here for the defense of Incendia without even having to invest this rampage. Sound barrier in, Hybrid with another rampage. Volta doesn't get the cleanse, but a beautiful blizzard. Stops Hybrid right as they hit the broken down machinery there. Well plays Blizzard just to isolate Hybrid and get that lethal threat off the battlefield. It's enough. That one move, that Blizzard from Jesper Swag will get it done. And what could have been another just desperate situation, devastating rampage coming out of Hybrid, nullified by a good Suzu and an even better Blizzard. So it's on to point B with 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. Concerning rush available for both sides, but Defender's advantage will get Cronus the ability to kind of set up if this rushes are going to mix on the high ground. But a quick jump down here from Incendia. They're just going to get aggressive on this. Favoring the close quarters combat of Hybrid and Cloud over getting Cookie set up on the high ground. We can kind of play in mid-ground here. Beautiful shot on to Volta. Woo. Shot disengaged. Lars just trying to get back, see if they can get that respawn in. Only 2 minutes left. I mean, you got essentially two more stabs at this. Want to make the most of them. Goal now is try to get the Suzu out. Anybody can get that Suzu out. Lars can get this rampage down. Good opener from Jesper Swag there in the midst of the Kitsune Rush battle. Everybody with super speed and fast cooldowns. Neither team wanting to invest anymore in this fight. A late shout does get a couple trades from Incendia, but Ereus get the cleanup. So, first leg of point B has been conquered. They don't have enough reinforcements to really secure this high ground position. I expect they'll just get as much progress as they can. Yeah, you can see the other players returning here on the card. This is going to prompt a high ground attack out of Incendia. You bet Jesper Swag doesn't make it out. Sleek trying to fit him off with this OC. Jumps all the way back in the corner. Cookie has a superior positioning on this overclock. Oh, but Sleek's got you in their sights. You know exactly what you're looking for. Cloud now comes hunting for revenge with katana in hand. Absolutely sent packing. But the defense, actually kind of falling apart now with Cronus going down. Is the rampage going to be enough to stabilize here for Incendia? Hyber's able to get one the very tail end of it. Volta was low. Where's Just for Swag back? Just for Swag up here, dueling Cookie on the south side. That's a rampage in from Lars. Back on the objective, immediately finishing off what little help Captain Crash had. Now Incendia are looking to be pinned towards his back left-hand side, but do you have a Mega in there to work with? And they're set up to try to recontest. Just for Swag, not going to give him that option. Takes Hybrid out of the equation early in the fight. And, well, not having a tank is a lot like multiplying by 0. It doesn't really matter on that defensive hole. What supports are left? You have no tank. Still equals 0. Kitsune Rush available considerably ahead of Cronus. Remember, they crossed on top of each other last time, and Cronus is still 25% away. As this one's unleashed, this is going to buy a lot of space. Incendia forced to turtle up all the way back in their spawn. Now, can Ereus do anything with it? They've managed to get Texel across the way. Yeah, Texel not able to find a pick from that crossfire. Jesper Swag once again in trouble on the outside and loses the 2v1 as Captain Crash comes in for the final blow. And that's just going to prompt the disengage out of Ereus. They're back to the bridge with 45 seconds remaining.
This ends now.
Sleek overclocked. Find their way back into the castle. Risky jump out of Captain Crash. Almost got their head taken off, but Cronus responds with the Kitsune Rush to help hold this corner. And then it is going to be a Cookie overclock sliding in. Has already had a couple fantastic ones today. And this one is yet another for the highlight reel here for Cookie. Sniffs out Lars, trying to hide behind the corner with 15 seconds to go. But Lars just completely outnumbered. Sit down to the fishies, as will the rest of Ereus. Cloud's going to ult into the back lines. Jesper Swag able to get a touch in. That was not Jesper Swag pop. No, Jesper Swag is just a few steps away.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
All right.
Initiating match. I'm more of a basketball person.
Not a fan of your home team, huh?
Don't put words in my mouth.
May not be pixel perfect, but it's definitely better. OBS just messed up my pictures there, so it made it a little difficult to tell what those bands were depending. And it just looked kind of crappy. Sorry about that. We have better standards than that on this stream. All right. Lars on this JQ. Landed a nice knife early. Not able to secure him, but goes in with the follow-up carnage. And this, Lars just gets so low. Muscle down and just battle of the tanks there. And like all guns were pointed at the tanks on the front line. And Lars just takes it one step too far out of their cover to try to get that extra damage with the carnage axe. Starts the dominoes to fall in here for this defense. Now, whoa, Sleek and Volta clapping back here. Sleek comes up with 2. Sleek is going to hold on to this. Hold the phone. Two ticks are picked up. 99.4% before that recontest comes back in. And a great save there from Ereus to not put themselves facing, you know, a nearly 6-minute time bank. Overclock puts Lars very, very low. Shout just to get out. In fact, Kitsune Rush invested just to save that tank as well. And Lars is still under a bit of pressure. Eventually going to get topped off here, but Cookie's final shot will end Sleek on this point. Hybrid moves in, does not land the Carnage to get that extra sustain, but the Suzu comes in lieu of it. Now Kronos goes into Kitsune Rush, and this could just be curtains for this point. Curtains, I say. Curtains. Oh, Texel with a nice little exit pick. You know, just good for the ego, I think. With the spawn right there, it's not going to make much of a difference here in this next engagement. The defense does come back to hold this high ground, though. That is as important as anything. Which, you know, with that one pick from Texel may have definitely helped in that cause. So the late pick does, in fact, impact the setup of the following fight. Lars setup looking for a rampage here on the low ground in a very aggressive position, very much at risk of getting flanked from both sides. Just for a second with the drop down though, sneaks in. Hybrid has to stay locked, not able to turn around, protect anybody in their back line. Sleek and Jesper Swag move in. Jesper Swag opens it up. Sleek knocks him down with a pretty 4K. Showing Cookie's not the only one with some overclock chops here in the lobby. Oh, I love the disruptor shot. Very clever. Punishing Cloud for peeking. Trying to poke. We're going to get both katanas pulled out. Cloud's attempt has been thwarted there by a Suzu. Out of Texel. Has to go to the back outside. The Hybrid's going to drop in a rampage. Landing themselves with two players purple. Neither able to, well, neither fall throughout that. Considering rushing out from this defense. And Lars just runs right into their death. Runs headlong in a beautiful volley of shots out of, I mean, that was Hybrid, Cookie, Cloud, everybody poured damage into Lars. Never mind the Kitsune Rush. Not enough healing in the game to save you from that one. And that brilliant focus fire will net some space here from Incendia. 3 players from Ereus pushing up to the high ground. Look at the other 2 are consent to high back. Drop down. Lars with the rampage. Love the positioning on that. How they landed themselves into this far room. Very beautiful rampage. Superb display. They're out of Lars on this Junker Queen. Great hold out of the defense. 2 minutes remain. Jazzy sounds of Volta. Lars under a lot of pressure down here. Volta hits all 5 with that particular sound barrier. Just like will pick up the kill with it. Lands the knife and the pull on the Cookie. Take that massive threat off the table. Another attack falls flat here from Incendia. Although a trade onto Sleek. And as we talked about, those late trades can have lasting effects through the next team fight, as it was demonstrated here before. And you see the taxi there from Volta. Only 3 players currently on this defense, but reinforcements will make it back in time before Incendia can get inside. Hybrid trying to deal with the drop down from Lars as the chase comes in. Looks like all 5 of Incendia makes it through with the clean rotation. Nicely done as they take the high ground position. A power position for them for sure, which is important because they're facing 2 DPS ults on the other side, and they're buying a lot of time to build up their own. They drop down to the point. Here comes Jesper Swag in pursuit. Dragon Blade will slice through Captain Thrash. 98% to a sound barrier. Hybrid gets the trade, but has Lars right on their heels. Looks like does have a little bit of backup. Cookie is here. A moment of quiet as the team tries to reassess down in a 3v4. Rampage thrown in by Hybrid, completely Suzu, but Lars still purple. Has the chance to respond with one of their own. Cloud goes down. Crashy goes down. Sleek picks up 2 here with this overclock. Nice headshot onto Hybrid. 20 seconds remain. Ereus have put up a astonishing hold here on point B. And now have a Kitsune Rush in the pocket to close up this map and tie up the series. They're going to throw it right into the choke. A Cookie overclock. They've been spectacular all day. In the waning seconds here, the overtime has been initiated with a Hybrid swap onto a Diva, but that mech isn't going to last long. Cookie didn't find anything with the overclock. Swap here from Cloud onto the Tracer, trying to work in on the flank. Dropping in onto the back line, hoping to find Sleek. Sleek jumps out, finds the platform down low where Cronus pursues it to find a pair of kills. Swift steps back up to the top. What a play out of Cronus. I turned into a complete Muppet there for a second. I don't know what that voice was. That was... that play brought out like another being from inside of me. That was insane. And Hybrid gets a remet kill. And Hybrid gets a remet kill. Oh my. Areas were... They had a Kitsune Rush in the choke with 10 seconds to go. And they couldn't stop Incendia here in the overtime push. That was incredible. What a play. Now all it takes is one fight for Incendia to take the 2-0 lead. And how the tables have turned. Volta with a sound barrier advantage. Careful play is still required here out of Incendia. Can't get sloppy now. There's only 40 seconds to go. Crash goes down. That's the kind of thing that you're worried about. Volta drops that bead in, knowing they have that advantage. Still, the Kitsune Rush is invested. Hybrid trying to hold strong on the back of that ultimate on this corner. The Cloud drops to a beautiful shot out of Sleek. There's the response. The Carnage will find one. Cronus will not let Jesper flag out. Beautiful knife lands. That's going to get an early Suzu out. 88% to Rampage. Could Incendia possibly close this out? Torn with that ultimate. Lars has one of their own. Suzu from Cronus still in play. There's the Rampage online. Texall will not be able to save the team this time. And Incendia take the 2-0 lead. It was looking so good with 10 seconds to go. An ult advantage for Ereus. Aggressive positioning. Incendia break through the lines. Oh my. Ereus come back with a vengeance on that map. It was so close. It was so close to being a 1-1 score line with a... I mean, just a particularly fantastic defense on point B. Getting those little extra kills every step of the way. Sleek stepping up with a big overclock there to win a fight that they were down. Ereus just looked like they had it all locked in. And then it just went so south, accentuated by a remet kill. Oh my. Stats definitely reflect just how close that was. Very similar team fight wins from both sides. You are seeing a few more elims here out of Incendia overall. But as far as deaths, I mean, I guess a couple more deaths in total. As far as that's concerned, so 25 and 17 is going to be 42. 45, 55 deaths for Ereus versus 19 and 13 is going to be 32. 41, 50 deaths for Incendia. I mean, like, is one more team fight win for Incendia. Like, it's very, very close. Very, very close as far as team fights are concerned on that map. That was ridiculous. That was... What a bounce back. What a bounce back there on map 2 from Ereus. And you know what? They get map pick here again, headed into map 3. They have chosen push in Esperanca. It's a Sojourn and a Break band out as we head into push.
Initiating bridge.
I'm thinking Ereus banned the Soj here to try to stop Cookie. There's no world where Incendia banned Soj, right? Like, there's just no world. That's the way I have it plugged in. I will verify for y'all, because you know what they say about assuming. Oh, they did! I am wrong! Incendia ban out the Soj, putting Cookie into the Ash. Oh. Cookie Soj is just so good. That what surprises me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
The Ashe, of course, definitely a little bit more vulnerable. And with the Zarya available once again, after that being a map 2 ban, we are going to see Lars go back into that comfort hero. Yeah, I talked about one of the lowest health pools. I guess actually when I said Zarya had the lowest, that was a mistake. Actually, Junker Queen has the lowest.
Our barricade is moving. Keep up this pace.
I don't know why I was thinking Zarya was 500 and JQ was 525 is what I was thinking. But still, you're talking about a lot more sustained for a Junker Queen, right? I mean, the Junker Queen has a lot of health regen through all of that bleed damage. But Hybrid's not going for that mirror anymore. We're gonna get some Wrecking Ball. Try to dance around. Try to dance around this Zarya squad here. Low ground approach. Ashe is doing across the way. Oop. Nice play in there from Cloud. You saw the boop up from Hybrid off of the pile drive. Cloud got the final blow. There's been a harassment in the back line. It's low health bars here from Ereus, but so far they're able to deal with it. Good bubble out of Lars there. Helps to protect Volta through the dive, and they get the kill on the Hybrid. So good patience out of the Ereus squad just to stay on top of the different targets, stay on top of the chaos that Cloud and Hybrid were trying to incite. Man, they lose one early, but good bubbles and good persistence pays off, and they're able to get this checkpoint just past the 2-minute mark. Really good time on that. Back-to-back fight wins there out of Ereus. Just for a sec, dropped in. Whoops. Bing. Just able to buy a lot of space, honestly, with that tectonic shock. Bob's going to be traded on the point, but the Gladiator's Bob out of Cookie was not going to last long. Just by a little bit of time. Unfortunately, a bit of a trade on Sojourns there. Good Susie to protect Sleek from the poles. Is there anything to protect you from the minefield? Doesn't look like it. Cloud comes up with 2. Incendia are gonna finally be able to win a fight win, but not before giving up triple-digit progress on the other side. Cloud recalls to the good side of the minefield, creates a little bit of space between them and Volta. And Incendia are able to create a mismatch at the very end of the fight for some cleanup. Support ults coming in. But with Minefield using that last fight, it gives Lars an advantage here with this Graviton Surge. Don't want to lose the value of the Graviton Surge in the ult trade of the support ults. I think would be ideal here for Lars. So staying patient with it. Again, Hybrid and Cloud doing some harassment there in the back line. On separate targets this time, mind you. Hybrid's able to find theirs. Volta looks a touch late on the peel. That was a Continuing Rush tossed in from Incendia as well. Cloud finds a pick onto Lars, able to leverage that, and looks like Ereus just not going to get an opportunity to even hit Q throughout this fight. But because of that early lead, do it. I mean, Incendia is still marching down towards the checkpoint here, right? Still a lot of ground to make up. And now quite a few ultimates in the pocket of Ereus. Cloud on anchor duty on the cart with Cookie up top, trying to fire from above, but Lars makes the jump up there, gets the grab in. Cookie gets the kill inside the grab. Unbelievable. That's not how that was supposed to go. That is not how Ereus drew up that plan. And that is checkpoint. It will be more on the board here from Incendia. Ooh, Cloud does. It was flawless until Cloud died. They were still 5 strong through that entire fight till the very, very end. They're going to lose Cloud. We're going to go ahead and try to supplement with Bob in a pile drive into the back line. Love the combo. Double support ults out here from Ereus. They'll take the corner back. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save Slake. Well, absolutely not. Oh. Cloud showed up anticipating the attack onto the high ground back line. And still wasn't able to fend it off. Doesn't land the pulse. And good ambush there out of Ereus. Whoa. Takes all with no cooldowns. Gets stuck, though, back in the alley. Or on the stairs, or whatever you call that. Would we call those stairs? Those are definitely stairs. Yes, Jeff, those are stairs. Very good. Okay, we're getting the sleek Tracer first time today. Respect for the contender skin. And despite what was looking so good there for Incendia, they're not able to. I mean, I was gonna say not even get close to the lead. That's not actually true because of where they're stopped by Yellow Bus. You can gain a lot of progress kind of for free for solidifying the street. But still 40 meters, now 50 meters shy of the lead. As we're getting Ereus turning this final corner. Lars is going to find Captain Thrash as they try to escape here to the Mega. Now, this has isolated Lars a little bit. It doesn't look like Incendia is trying to pounce on it, though. Cloud goes down. TS1's going to continue to keep moving forward. Hybrid rolling back through. Gets a lot of shielding from those adaptives. Has a Continuing Rush to work with there in the middle. Matter of fact, let's check that Cloud. Oh, Cloud's making it back in this fight. Hybrid's going to get picked. This is looking like all areas here on Esperanca. They roar back here in their second map pick. Push was the ticket. Junker Queen got it done there in the end for Lars. Makes the swap, says, fine, it's enough of the Zarya. Back into the JQ. Ereus reclaimed the fight, never relinquished their lead. Patience and persistence seems to be the name of the game for him here. Oops, wrong button, sorry. Look at some stats there from map 3. What do y'all see? What do y'all see? What's standing out? I'm gonna go put this point on the board for Ereus. We keep this thing going. We're headed to map 4. right. What do we see? What stands out? What stands out? Volta with only 2 deaths. Backline 5 deaths total. Your backline Incendia dying 11 times. So just to kind of put that into, you know, we'll isolate some of these sets, put it into an easy to digest number. I think that's a good one. I think that's a good one. You keep Cookie, who's just been an absolute beast, you know, to 10 kills there in that Astral. Do Incendia, you know, maybe we do ask about that Sojourn ban. Do Incendia now look back and go, you know, maybe the Sojourn ban, maybe we keep Cookie on the Sojourn. Maybe that wasn't the play. I don't know. I don't know. But for the first time, we are going to get an Incendia map pick. That I do know. Looks like they've chosen Dorado. JQ and Lucio banned out. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, and it is Incendia banning the Queen. You bet. You bet. Okay. I mean, going into Dorado, we'll see what this means for Lars on the other side. You know, we've seen exclusively Junker Queen and Zarya all day long. You know, opted in for the Zarya. I mean, opted in for the Junker Queen after attempting the Zarya again in Esperanca. Once it had, you know, wasn't banned out anymore. Still figured out that the Junker Queen was the better play. Ended up winning it on that map. Now bringing us to map 4, we do get the JQ banned out as we head into Dorado. We are getting... As anticipated, we're going to get a Winston look out of Incendia as they head on the attack.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
We're getting something new here out of Lars and the rest of Ereus for that matter. A bring on a backline with Lars heading into the hazard and Jesper Swag on the Torbjorn. 4 new heroes. And for map 4, we have yet to see out of Ereus today. Hybrid heads to the high ground. And honestly, it's not, I mean, change of style for Dorado isn't that big of a deal. But, you know, still worth noting. It is to be expected. That's what, it's not unexpected. Definitely worth noting. Definitely a change of pace for both of our teams here. And I think falling into this hybrid Winston, Cronus, and Liana is a good look out of Incendia. And I think I'd favor them in this matchup just on paper, but hybrid can't get that bubble down in an effective place. Jesper Swag and Lars combined for a ton of damage onto the Winston. Yes, Cronus 67% towards the Nano, your first big engage option here. All right, Lars eats the purple. Should be a Gosai here, but a lot of damage on the Cookie. This backline forced to take cover. Cronus going through the window up into the Ana with the nano boost. Immediately picks up that kill with a little help from Cloud. Drop it down on the other side. That jagged wall might be the end of hybrid. In fact, does. Takes too much damage, both trying to get past the wall and just getting slowed and getting shot in the back. And a well-placed wall from Lars will stop this cart.
We can't let them keep pushing. Stop that payload.
Oh boy, and the Heron is so good. It's so good. It's so I wish I saw it in theaters. I was going to go see it in theaters, and I don't know what happened that night. And now I really missed not seeing that in theaters. It's so good. Soundtrack is impeccable. Cloud with a pulse bubble. Lars drops it in the downpour. Oh, I don't know that it got anything. Bubble is able to keep hybrid safe through it, and I think everybody else is just able to dance around it. Hybrid now heading to the back line, facing a nano Jesper swag. Jesper was slept momentarily, but stands up to finish off Hybrid. Still Cloud finds 2, with the pulse landing onto Diana. That's a point on the board for Incendia. It's not clean, but they get the job done. Now, I don't know it's quite how they drew it up, but it's a point on the board in the end. Jonte says utter perk nonsense. Hey, I'm here for it. I think it's fun. But, you know, I'm not playing. I just watch. High ground Morton core onto the point could be lethal if given the opportunity. You can see you have to be playing for this. Yeah, as the supports were already in a good position to take cover. Now, are they in a position? Still, Cronus gets caught? Oh, I was bragging about how you were in a good position, Cronus, to be able to avoid that. You know, it looked like you had a nice disengage plan inside the house. Still, with Incendia having to do this out there on us, so Hybrid just straight kidnaps Jesper swag. That was a beautiful juggle. Nano boost re-engage. Incendia are still down a player here, as there was a trade out through that last exchange. I do still anticipate that they're going to come back in with this sooner than later. It's not a direct approach out of Incendia. Hybrid can take the sneaky sneak into the backside. The nade does not make it through, but Cookie gets the nano up close. Just takes out Jesper swag. That was, I don't think, what anybody expected. A brilliant play with Hybrid there to keep the backline busy, while it was Cookie who did the bulk of the damage.
I'm just getting started.
Love that play. That was awesome. Well drawn up. Impeccably executed. They're out of Incendia. Bolt advantage definitely favors this defensive Ereus, though. Cookie, painfully aware of that now. Still, only one ult used in that defensive fight. Leaving a downpour. Ooh, good wall. Almost caged Hybrid end. Hybrid's able to escape, head up to the high ground. Oh, just a little poking and prodding. Overclock pop from Sleek from this far side. Really wants Cronus. Locked in with this 150 charge on the Ana. Ooh, Cronus gets the nano off just in time for the damage mitigation, so they don't die from the shot. Hybrid able to do enough damage to at least allow Cloud to finish off that kill, or drew enough aggro. Either way, it's a +1 to Incendia through that trade, even with the multi-core invested from Jesper swag. No heals available for Jesper swag as the supports are making a rotation from that high ground. Sleep dart does land onto Cookie, but I think they were trying to stop Hybrid, and Hybrid, seeing that cooldown spit, immediately goes in for the kill. There's a rally up from Pingo as a last-second attempt to try to stop the onslaught, but it looks like a tidal wave of fire coming in through the power plant of Dorado with the rally of their own here to secure the final push. They'll get the third point on the board. He says with a question mark. Lars cut down. It's a clean up indeed. Polished to a shy. Incendia get the third with 40 seconds remaining.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Seem pretty indicative of this map. A lot of ups and downs there on that attack phase. Right, there's supposed to be a key. If I shift... No, see, it still does that. There's supposed to be a way, like, is it Alt? No, Alt still does it too. Where it doesn't do the transition thing, where it just pops into their POV. It doesn't transition. So that's just watches. That's control. Ooh. I don't know, so look like it kind of moved. Anyway, sorry. Fun with cameras. Cloud with the far defense here. No other change. The Cookie Soj. Cookie Soj has been persistent here. Back on map 4. Ooh, didn't see that coming, did you, Cloud? Cronus dancing with the devil here. Eats a headshot and a body shot. Lars is going to head up to the high ground and try to see if they can get the kill, but gets a sleep dart instead. But the echo pick here from Jesper Swag, and Sleek eventually lines up that shot onto Cronus. Results in a good first fight here from Ereus. They'll push to the first leg of Dorado. Still in a bit of the neutral. Texel Jesper Swag, though, with good progress to this first round of ultimates. Media pressure in from Hydra. That's going to block Galen. Here comes Cloud in to try to follow up on it. Forced out by that nade. Sleek and Cloud will trade out onto their hit scans. King has been able to move up into that back line, though. Clear off the flank. Keep Texel nice and healthy. Hybrid in a bit of a 1v2 down on the inside, but a good nade lands in from Cronus, and then the Nano thrown into boot. Lars has one of their own, though, and Jesper Swag with a duplicate onto a Winston. It's a lot of angry monkeys on the battlefield currently. At least potentially very angry. Gets that last shot in right as the duplicate fades. Get him, Sleek. Oh, wait, this is an Incendia stream. I'm not supposed to say that. Hey, I love all of our players, okay? Again, me being a content creator for a team is just to highlight their story. Not necessarily be biased for their team. I can still root for all the players. Rally up out of Captain Prash, but that was a really nice purple out of Texal, and somehow Prash is still able to survive that. Ooh, that ante was almost the end of that rally and the India buff here for this defense of Incendia. But Hybrid and the rest stay alive. They're able to respond and find Texel caught out down low. Bingo. Jesper Swag in very, very deep inside the thing. This is a 1v3. Recall forced out. Yeah, no shot. That's going to go well. Still plenty of time on the clock. With jump spent, Hybrid is going to take the opportunity to try to leap into the back line. Does get Pingu's rally out, but... And Lars just gets pummeled. Despite the rally, I think it was a good bio-nade that landed in there. was expecting the nano boost to go on to Lars. I think Lars was expecting it too. I don't know if the bubble came in, the attack from Hybrid. Hybrid does get slept and finished off down to the corner, but so does Lars. Cronus left alone on the Hybrid is forced back down. Cookie dived in aggressively there. Ooh, does get that shot on the gesture swag. That's the gun. Check out this primal inside the building. Last juggle was very impressive. Get Texall forced on the outside. Another good kidnap. Lars has a primal, excuse me, has a nano. I mean, does have the primal as well, but that's not what we're being used at the moment. Overclock tosses it from the high ground. Ooh, couple of shots land, but can't finish off Parashi, or Cookie in the back line, rather. Parashi's up here in the vault, throwing off this rally. Trying to keep Hybrid alive, trying to hold what they can of this high ground. Hybrid is very, very low down on the main. Still finishes off Jesper Swag. That fight was on a nice edge, it felt like. With both teams having extremely low players throughout the middle of that fight. Oh, Hybrid. Hybrid diving in, once again using that bubble to try to deny healing onto the front line. Drawing some aggro, building up towards the next round of ultimates. You do see Cronus leading in that. Speaking up, Cookie's gonna pop an OC from down low. Finds Sleek immediately, allowing them free reign to step out into the open. Woo! Return fire back the other way. Slides past, gets the kill on Lars. You can see there was the bubble up top. Texall was not in that fight, was not able to provide the healing needed for that big attack we were seeing down low. And Incendia have stopped this card shy. With a kill on to the Venture, no chance at a touch. Incendia close out Dorado. They have won their second series in a row and look to have stopped that losing streak skid. Moving up to 5-3 here on the season. All right, let's take a look at some stats. Hybrid with fewest deaths in the lobby, only dying twice, and most elims at 26. Most damage does go to Cookie though. Oh, hey, that's a map one. I could have sworn I clicked on the map 4 thing. Well, you know what? We can just review the whole series. Speaking of, very dominant first map out of Incendia there on Samoa, where we do see Hybrid with just leading the way on the Junker Queen. We saw Ereus try to start, Lars try to start on the Zarya there, ends up back in the JQ meta. Kind of becomes a theme throughout the series. You know, we head into a map 2 pick out of Ereus on Eichenwalde. And, you know, the Zarya gets banned out. And we see Incendia just sticking with the JQ through that. But then returning in on Ereus' map pick of Esperanca, they open up super strong, super strong. You know, very few deaths there from the support line and the tank included in that. In fact, very few deaths from Ereus in general. As they're able to really turn around that opening 2 minutes in particular. They're able to get the checkpoint right out of the gate, get a huge 100-meter lead, and you know, good bounce back that out of Ereus. And the up-and-comers, really showing their stuff, really you got to respect it in that situation where you're down, and especially when you got beat up kind of on your own map pick. It could be easy to kind of fold at that point. But Ereus showed some wonderful mental, some wonderful leadership from that squad. Is they don't let it phase them. They really keep this one competitive. They do force that map 4. Unfortunately, for Ereus fans, an Incendia's map pick, they're able to take it to a place where they can play the Winston. They can put Hybrid into that Winston. Play the on a brig back line. And it really worked out in their favor. They're really dominant performance there on Dorado, where we're seeing Cookie once again, with a great amount of damage output, actually not leading the lobby. I hate they're not showing these games regularly. What do you mean? I'm here 5 days a week. What do you mean? You want regular games? I'm here 5 days a week. Also, why choose a Scabby is actually a grounded based viewer reward. Honestly, forgot I had that one selected. I thought I had deactivated that one, to be honest. It's like choosing a color scheme. It's like choosing a color scheme kind of thing, where you can choose the color scheme that I would be using for that stream, but it's grounded based. Apologies. Like, I don't know. Can you refund points? I'd be happy to refund the 3,000 points on that, if you want it. But yeah, I have games 5 days a week, if not more. I have 8 to 10 FACEIT League matches every single week. I am here as regularly as you could ask for. Great series. Great series. Like I said, Lars out damaging Cookie there on map 4. So we definitely put up a good fight on Dorado. Even kind of forced out of their comfort zone a little bit. But otherwise, it was Cookie taking over like 23k, as we saw mentioned earlier in chat. 44 and 8, 23,000 damage, nearly 24k damage. They're on map 2. Taking over Eichenwalde. And I had most damage every map except for that 4th map where Lars does narrowly edge out by less than 1,000 damage. Let's see. Try to see if I might be able to catch somebody for an interview. I don't want to put any pressure. We ask a lot of Coach Cass. We get Coach Cass on here a lot, so I don't want to pressure anybody. I don't want to guarantee anything, but I am reaching out to see if that's a possibility. Always love to talk to the team. While we're waiting to see if we can get that happening. Forgive me, I think end of the week, my voice is kind of starting to give out here a little bit. Kind of just noticing during that cast. Sorry, I drink some tea. Kind of ease the throat there a little bit. See if we have any other matches going on from the division here today. Dreamlight up 1-0 on a late starting match there versus Victims. What other matches happened here today? It's Friday. It's not a default day, so it may not have had a whole lot of matches today. Looks like TO taking a TA taking a 3-0 over Cronus. Yuri Mirai with a 3-0 over Luna Nessie. Yuri Mirai, it's hot up and coming squad, alongside Ereus. Incendia with a very important, much needed 3-1 for them here today. Woo! Look at this, y'all. What is this? Wasp come out and get SRP checks number. And get the 3-0 over SRPC. That's an upset. That's definitely an upset. D'Ampero 3-0 Thunders. That is as expected. But yeah, that's all our matches from today. So much needed wins here, especially with Incendia coming up with a 3-1 over 5-1 0907 yesterday, and then able to back that up with another 3-1 over, a hot up and coming squad in Ereus here today. Bodes well. It bodes well for the season here for Incendia. I'm not getting a response out of Cass. I'm not going to press the issue. I don't want to force it today. Honestly, I've been doing a lot of talking today. My throat's feeling a little scratchy, and I've got 2 matches. I've got 2 series to cast for Collegiate a little later on tonight, so it's not going to hurt my feelings just to go ahead and we didn't get it set up. Like, we didn't plan it beforehand, Trash Panda. That's the only problem. It's tough getting. No. I mean, if he wants to. Cass is actually here. Okay. I mean. Yeah. Well, let's get Cass in here. We're gonna get Coach Cass in here. All right. Let me let's get this up. You can hear my voice going.
Yo.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you for. What was that?
Good afternoon.
Indeed. Congrats on the dub. Thank you for coming and having another chat with us.
Yeah, always happy to be here. So.
It looks like a good week for y'all. Able to bounce back a little bit after maybe some uncertainty. How has it felt from your perspective?
Well, we had some adaptations recently. We were struggling to a point where we felt change was needed, so a change was made.
Sure.
I don't want to go too deep into the change, but I think it's a productive change for the team. Of course, during that change, we did lose Sobak, really nice guy and everything. It just didn't fit completely, and we changed our main support to Mr. Captain Prash.
Right.
And I think that change actually really beneficial for us. He also brings a lot of energy into the scrim, and that's something I think we might have lacked a little bit before. The scrim and official.
What's so important about that? I mean, I have my thoughts on it. It kind of seems obvious, but from a coach's perspective, what's so important about that energy?
Well, that energy allows you to keep talking about problems. So if there is something you need to adapt to mid-map or in between maps, or you need to talk about what map you're going to be playing next, that little energy that even after a map loss or even if people are tired a day, which can happen, you have someone who can give that extra boost and force it through a little bit, and then you can hype each other up. And in general, if you higher energy is better mechanics, you look at better in-game decisions and everything. So
it's awesome. Yeah. Kind of zooming in on this one a little bit. What I want to talk about the Soj ban in Esperanca. What was the thinking there? I mean, Cookie's just traditionally, I feel like, such a damn good Sojourn. When I initially saw, and honestly, I try to guess. I like to try to guess and be like, okay, what are we thinking here? Let's analyze. What do we think? Who do we think banned which hero? Since that it doesn't tell us, and the order that it gives us isn't accurate to first ban.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely guessed wrong on that one. What was the thinking behind that Sojourn ban? And looking back, did that plan work out, considering it was the one map that you dropped? Although, I mean, obviously Cookie still had huge impact. Well, talk to us about that one.
I think Cookie, I'll start with the Cookie glaze again, just like last time. I think Cookie is one of the best hit scans in EU.
Yeah, well-deserved glaze.
Yes, I think it's very deserved. I think he's also one of the more flexible hit scans there is right now.
Okay.
A lot of hit scans are riding on the Sojourn train and can only play that character. So a lot of times where we ban a Sojourn, for example, we feel that we have a better matchup on the other hit scans. That's what occurred on Esperanza as well. We didn't really have our good bans available at the time. So like the Zarya Adventure ban, which they're traditionally playing only that. And we were very confident in the Queen matchup. and we hoped that when we would ban Soj, they would just do a Queen Mirror with Ashe, because they knew that we could swap to the ball. But we had some connection issues on the in that map, like connection between the players that fell apart a little bit,
Yeah.
and we had one Ajax, and yeah, it happens.
Oh, I didn't even catch the AJ.
Or maybe the AJ was on Ike actually. Sorry,
I didn't even
maybe
catch
that one
the
was
AJ.
on Ike.
Oh.
Maybe we AJ'd on Eichenwalde. I think I'm thinking of a scrim. Yeah, I'm thinking of a warm up. My bad.
Okay. No. I mean, it's entirely possible I could have missed it. It's entirely possible.
No. We had it in a
I
warm
miss
up.
things. It happens.
No, we AJ'd in warm up.
Hey, you know what? That's the place to AJ. If you're gonna do it, that's the
Yeah,
place.
true.
That's the place. That's the
True,
place.
true. Very true.
That's cool. That's awesome insight. Where it's like, yeah, it's just as good as Cookie is in the Sojourn, and again, the well-deserved praise and glaze. You think you're even better in the other matchups, in the Ashe matchup, so to speak. That's really cool.
Yeah, essentially, we just believe that Cookie is at such a level that we can put him on any hit scan or even tracer, and have the same results we would always have. Maybe even a little bit of an easier matchup. Not saying that Sleek is a bad hit scan at all. I really appreciate the guy. I think he has good mechanics.
Sure.
So yeah, just a lot of the more up and coming hit scans preferably play Soj over other hit scans.
Makes a lot of sense. With given the meta over the past couple of years, that they would just hard practice on Sojourn.
Yeah,
Not so much.
like they will have the most scrim time there.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. Looking at the rest of your season, okay, so we're kind of crossing the halfway mark here. Now that you've been able to kind of bounce back, and I mean, it feels like a little bit of an up and down season. Like it's been a bit of a roller coaster season for you guys in a short amount of time. But changes have been made. Got a couple good wins under your belt. I mean, the 0907 win, I think was, very solid win. Saying you can beat one of the teams that was sitting at the top of the bracket. How's the vibe going into the back half of the season? How you feeling going up against your MRI and Quick Esports next week?
Well, to talk about the vibe first, I think I'm not happy with our performance today. And I've also made that clear to the team. I'm happy with the result, of course, always.
Sure.
All of us are. But the way and how we got there was not ideal for us. When we play Masters Division with these players, I expect us to win most matches 3-0 and not drop a map or even a point on, let's say, hybrid. So we want to be performing way better than we do, and I think all my players want that. So just before I joined this call, there was a doom speech, very much given and talked about also with the players. So they agreed that we have to punch up, because there are teams like TA and Quick left who are currently handing it to us in scrims. So yeah, I think it's for us to punch up right now. Looking forward to this season. But the two opponents you were asking about were...
Yeah, talk about next week. It's Yuri Mirai, who I think is probably the hottest next up kind of squad, and then Quick, which is, I mean, they did drop their last series, but I still think has got to be the favorite in the division, right?
Yeah, so I think currently Quick is the favorite, very much.
Even though TA won, even though TA beat them.
Yeah, I think Quick is the favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as they keep playing with Willis, I think they're definitely players. Like Willis is a new up and coming tank. I think he can learn quickly. Same for Snowdrop. I like younger players purely because they can develop that quickly and adapt way faster than some older settled players.
Right.
So I think Quick is the opponent for next week. We are looking forward to beating.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, I'm looking forward to the match, my friend. I look forward to the match. I'm not sure whether we're covering it here or where it's being covered at, but damn it, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. Can't wait myself. So yeah.
It'll be a good one. Well, thank you so much, Coach Cass. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. I really appreciate you taking the time to come speak with us here.
Any day. See you soon.
Yep. Have a great weekend.
All right. GG.
All right. Bye-bye. There you go. Always a joy. Genuinely always a joy. Thank you. Again, I know we ask a lot of the coaches' time here on this channel. And so it's always a pleasure to get to talk with Coach Cass, get some insight. Yeah, need to get Coach on here more and for more, more stuff outside of, Incendia. I loved when we had Coach Cass on, just kind of analyzing Genji gameplay and stuff. That was a lot of fun. So, I mean, even outside of just these post-match interview capacity, always a pleasure to get Cass on this strip. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. All right, friends. Well, I think that is going to do it for us for the week. It's been one hell of a week. We had a ton of map 5s on this week. Not a whole lot. I think we had 1-3-0 in 9 matches this week. I mean, been a very, very competitive week. Big shakeups in A Expert, where we had the previously undefeated team, the last undefeated team drops a series. We had the last undefeated team here in EMEA Master in Quick Esports dropped their series. A lot of big shakeups in the divisions here in FACEIT League as we've just kind of crossed the halfway mark of Season 4. The hunt is on for OWCS here for these Master Division teams. You heard Coach Cass. They still have room to improve, and that's where their sights are set, no doubt. That goes unsaid. That goes unspoken. That is anything less, I think, would be a disappointment for this Incendia squad. I mean, from their own perspective, just from the interviews on them. Not that we as fans would be disappointed in them. No. That's not what I mean. But just from their own perspective, I think they would feel like they did not do their best if they're not able to make that OWCS slot. So it'll be a fun back half of the season. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on them. We'll have a couple more games here on this stream. Of course, CGL1 also broadcasts Incendia matches that you can't find here. So big shout out to CGL1. Be sure and go give them a follow as well. But that is all I have for you for now. Follow socials and stuff. Yeah. That means the world. It helps. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. That's all I got for you. Have a wonderful weekend. I think I've said that already. Bye, friends.